Tonight in Hannity's America, we are learning about a frightening warning from the leader of the Pakistani Taliban, Baytullah Masood, who has claimed responsibility for the deadly siege at Pakistan's police academy this weekend, now says the group is setting its sights on a new target, Washington, D.C. In a phone call with the AP, Masood said, quote, "Soon we will launch an attack in Washington that will amaze everyone in the world." Masood is believed to be the mastermind behind the assassination of former Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, and the United States is currently offering a $5 million reward for information leading to his capture. Now, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton spoke on the subjects of Afghanistan and Pakistan earlier today at a conference of world leaders and voiced her support for a program that would allow former Taliban and al-Qaeda members to be offered, quote, "an honorable form of reconciliation and reintegration into a peaceful society if they are willing to abandon violence." Now, Madam Secretary, just make sure this guy is not on your list of former terrorists that you plan to make peace with, please. And earlier today, Barney Frank delivered a keynote address before his fan base, the American Bankers Association. At this juncture in American history, he gave them a much-needed refresher on basic economics, and for that, he is the recipient of tonight's liberal translation treatment.
We are a free enterprise society, and we have benefited enormously from that. The private sector is what creates the wealth. The financial sector has a special role to play in that. Namely, people really need to remember the basics. We have in this country, fortunately, a private sector that's innovative and dynamic.
And I can tell those free market principles you love have really taken root in this administration, Barney. Hey, keep up the good work, and we'll see you soon on Liberal Translation. And in the Fox Nation tonight, now you may have imagined that President Obama would nominate radically liberal judges to the bench and select far-left lawyers to serve in the administration. But his choice for State Department legal advisor is radical even by those standards. Harold Koh, who served until recently as the dean of Yale Law School, was nominated by the president last week to fill the State Department's top legal position. Megan Klein, writing in the New York Post, reports that Mr. Koh has said some colorful things, such as, quote, "I'd rather have former Supreme Court Justice Harry Blackmun, who uses the wrong reasoning in Roe v. Wade to get the right results and let other people figure out the right reasoning." In 2004, Mr. Koh took the liberty of listing countries that violate international law. Quote, "Most prominently, North Korea, Iraq, and our own country, the United States of America, which he called the axis of disobedience." Now, Mr. President, these sorts of views might fly at Yale Law School, but they should not stand in our own government. Now, you can learn more about this story at foxnation.com. And several members of the cast of NBC's hit television show The West Wing have reunited for a third term, well, at least for a day. Martin Sheen, who played President Jed Bartlett on the award-winning series, and co-stars Bradley Whitford and Richard Schiff were in Washington today to lobby for the passage of the Employee Free Choice Act. Now, this is the controversial act that includes a card check provision that would do away with secret ballots when employees are deciding whether or not to unionize. Now, Mr. Sheehan and his former TV advisors appeared with advocates of the legislation in Senator Ted Kennedy's office earlier today and expressed surprise at the strong opposition that this bill has faced in Congress.
You know, it's always interesting to me that most of the people that are anti-union have never belonged to one. And most of the people who will vote on this measure have never belonged to a union.
All right, Mr. Sheehan would know he is a member of a union. And some say he's being a hypocrite on this matter, as his own actors union. Guess what? They use secret ballots to elect its leadership. Another great example of the do as I say, not as I do culture of Hollywood. Mr. Sheehan should go back to pretending to being a Washington lawmaker, not actually, trying to be one. And that is the news tonight from Hannity's America. And coming up, Barack Obama set the Europeans' hearts aflutter the last time he was there, but it looks like he's going to receive a much chillier reception this time around. That's all coming up straight ahead.